This week is going to test your patience, your impulses, and your perception of what is actually true. Because what starts as a grounded, slow-moving energy quickly turns into possible overreaction, overconfidence, and then a very real wake-up call. So if something feels frustrating or intense this week, that's why. The signs that are going to be feeling the most of this energy this week are going to be a mixture of the cardinal signs and the fixed signs. So specifically Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn, and Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. Specifically more so Taurus and Aries, because those are the signs that are going to be mostly affected this week, and Cancer as well. There's this strong tension between wanting stability but also feeling impulsive and emotionally reactive. And by the end of the week, you're going to see something much more clearly and for the truth of what things actually are. So let's just very briefly go over what are the aspects of this week that are going to be affecting us the most. We're starting off on May the 3rd with Mercury entering into the sign of Taurus. Then on May the 4th, we have Mars in Aries square Jupiter in Cancer. And on May the 5th, we have Pluto in Aquarius square Mercury in Taurus. So let's break down each one of these aspects so you can have a better understanding of what this energy looks like and what it will feel like for you. So on May 3rd, Mercury enters the sign of Taurus. Mercury for the last few weeks has been in the sign of Aries, and Aries is very impulsive. It's very quick to say things, very blunt, very passionate when it speaks, and sometimes can come off a little bit aggressive. Mercury being in the sign of Taurus, it allows our intellect and our communication to slow down a little bit, to be a little bit more grounded, to think before we speak. We understand that the things that we say have more of a long-term impact, and we want to make sure that what we say provides value and takes us in the direction that we wish to grow and go that is better for our long-term stability. The dark side of this transit is that Taurus can be stubborn. Both Aries and Taurus have a tendency to be stubborn, and so very little wiggle room for compromise these next few weeks. On May 4th, we have Mars in Aries square Jupiter in Cancer. Now, this is an aspect of tension. Mars in Aries rules our passions and our desires, and in Aries, it wants to move towards them quickly without thinking too much. However, the square is an aspect of tension, and Jupiter in Cancer is about our belief systems and doing what we believe is right, what we believe is good for others as well, because Cancer is a very empathic sign. It's very intuitive, very emotional. So it feels into what other people intuitively feel and the things that they're going through. However, our desires and our drives are currently in conflict with what we feel is right for everyone else. This can show up as people acting without thinking about it, doing something without thinking about it, because if you think about it too much, you may not want to do it. So it's acting on impulse, it's overcommitting to things, it's emotional reactions and outbursts. And it can also include things like defensiveness. Since Jupiter expands everything that it touches, it can make our desires and our feelings and our emotions feel very big on this day. So something small can feel like a big deal fast. So this is definitely a day that I would not make any type of rush decisions or any decisions that you can't take back, because it's a very emotionally heightened day where you want to go after what you want, but you also want to consider other people's feelings, and there's this frustration there. And finally, on May 5th, we are having Pluto in Aquarius square Mercury in Taurus. This is a very intense mental energy because Pluto is intensity, it is power, it is control, it is manipulation. And Mercury is how we communicate, and it's our intellect. Once again, the square is an aspect of tension. And so we have this tension between wanting to feel power, wanting to feel in control, because Pluto is also about control, and Mercury is trying to ground and stabilize things and think about the future. This is a very truth revealing type of energy, because Pluto also reveals the truth. Something that you possibly didn't see clearly before, you're seeing it clearly now. This can bring up deep conversations, revelations, even power struggles within communication. You can very easily see through other people's words, because Pluto in Aquarius shines a light on things. It exposes the hidden, it exposes the darkness. And so Pluto making a square to Mercury, our intellect and our communication, it is exposing any type of darkness. It is exposing lies and manipulation. It is exposing ways that people have used their communication and their intellect for control and manipulation, for power grabs. This can also be an aspect of just obsessive thinking and constant rumination, because especially with Mercury and Taurus, it's very much about rumination. Pluto is like a downward spiral. So I would definitely be mindful on this day that you aren't overthinking things and sending yourself down a spiral, because it is possible with this aspect. So overall, this week starts off very grounded, and then it gets a little intense, and it ends with a powerful shift in perspective. If you move through this week with awareness instead of impulse, you'll leave and end the week with a clarity that you didn't have before. Okay, so let's pull some tarot cards for the week. Once again, I'm using my animal tarot. I really love this deck. It's been resonating a lot with me lately. So let's pull an overall energy card, an advice card, and what is the challenge card for this week. So let's start with the overall energy of this week. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels of the highest love and light vibration. What is the overall energy of this upcoming week? The Princess of Spring, the monarch butterfly. You see, can you see? So this is our energy for the week. It's a beautiful monarch butterfly. I've been actually seeing a lot of these recently. And I know we're just, starting spring, so they're definitely starting to come out. But it says creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are flattering. It's creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. Love that. I could definitely see that with Mercury coming into the sign of Taurus, because Taurus is ruled by the sign Venus. It's ruled by the planet Venus. And Venus is all about growth and beauty and life. It gives life. So after this week with our full moon in the sign of Scorpio, and Scorpio is all about death, Mercury and the sun now moving into the sign of Taurus, we're now starting to see more life come in, and opportunities that bring in more life, more blessings, and more abundance into our lives. Let's pick let's do a challenge card for the week. Angel, spirit, guides, ancestors. What is the challenge card for this upcoming week for this collective? What is a challenge card? Oh, unity. We got this card before in a previous reading, but it says, embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may be called to act as a mentor, find a new teacher, or spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. So this coming up as a challenge card, it makes me feel like there may be issues with your community that come up. There may be issues with people around you, simply because this is the card of unity. And we can see there's also a butterfly on this card too. I don't know if you see the butterfly on his paw. There could either be issues with your community or issues with the people around you, and feeling like you don't feel as close to them anymore. Maybe because you're moving away from old circles, and you're moving away from people who don't represent the values and the things that you're trying to move toward. Either that, or this can also show up as over isolating yourself and not putting yourself out there enough, and finding the groups of people that resonate with you and that are in alignment with this next stage of your life and where it is that you're meant to be going next. So it can go either way, depending. Obviously, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And then for the advice card for this week. We got the Lovers card, and another butterfly is in this card. I've never picked the Lovers in this deck, so I was like, I'm really surprised when it came out, because I've never seen it. It's so cute. The flamingo. It says, true and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. So this was the advice card of the week. Interesting how there's butterflies on every single one of these cards. And I was just saying how I've been noticing a lot of butterflies recently. And butterflies are all about transformation. We just finished off this full moon in the sign of Scorpio, all about transforming, evolving, growing, reaching this next state of consciousness, enlightenment, however it is you want to call it. I think with this advice card being the Lovers, it's reminding us that despite everything that's happened or that is currently happening, don't close your heart off to new possibilities, to new love, to new blessings that may enter your life. Because just because one door closes doesn't mean that you're stuck in an empty room forever without any type of possibility or chance of finding love, partnership, or connection with people who you truly resonate with. So keep your heart open, keep your head held high, and know that the doors of opportunity, the doors of blessing and abundance are definitely still there, and they are opening up, even if it seems like something is ending, something's closing, like you've removed something from your life, even if you don't feel like it right now in this very moment. Continuing to have the faith and knowing that that's coming towards you and that's always available to you and it's all around you. So that's this week's reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave some comments down below. Let me know how you guys are feeling it. Let me know your sun, moon, and rising sign. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.